Alright, so here's what I see, and here's so far something that I don't particularly care for, but I'm sure there's an accessory that will take care of the problem. Here's the head, not the head, but the unit itself. That's the transceiver. There's a speaker in there as well. So that's what we have there. There's a fan, there's a heat sink, there's one antenna jack, which is okay. You run what they call a dual band antenna. Or you can run two separate antennas and run this to a switch, so you can switch the antennas if you want. However, it's better to run a dual bander, because if you forget to switch and you're on the wrong band, on the wrong antenna, there's a possibility that you're going to blow the PA. PA means power amplifier. It's just a little IC in there. It has a lot to do with the output, and if your SWRs, your standing wave ratio, is too high, it's kind of like pushing power back into the radio. It's not letting the power get out. So that little PA, that power amplifier circuit, the IC, starts to heat up, and poof, it's gone. Alright, and that's a costly expense. On CB radio, they're easy to repair, easy to fix, and you'll spend maybe 30 bucks on most radios, some are more. But on something like this, nah, you're not going to get away with $30, that's for sure. Now, what do I find fault with this so far that I think it can be remedied by an accessory? You have a remote head here. Now, I didn't hook this up to power yet, only because the first thing I did was I wanted to check my power source, which is right here. And if you can see, the gauge wire is a decent gauge. That's 10 gauge actually. But I wanted to make sure that I have sufficient power. Not too little, not too much. Alright, and right now, because the sun is down and this is all feeding off of my solar and wind turbine and batteries that are 7 years old, I've only got a little over 10 volts right now, so I'm going to have to wait a few minutes for that to get up to where I would feel comfortable to run the radio. Alright, too little is just as bad as too much, so you don't want to endanger a radio because you get over anxious and forget something, because there's also something in there, they used to call it a polarity protector, and in the older radios, again, I haven't been on radio for years, but in your older radios, basically it's a diode. It's almost like a fuse. Diode travels voltage in one direction and doesn't allow it to come back. If you were looking at it on a schematic, it would look like a triangle with a line, and the voltage goes in the direction of the triangle. But again, it's not divert. So also what I do like, it has a USB, so it can hook up to your computer for programming if you have the program, which I believe I'll order the program. You can also store things because it has an SD card here, so I can plug into a computer if I want to retrieve any photos and things off of that. Now, when I say photos and things, photos because not with this mic, but however, if I get a handheld, which is their FTM-400DM, I think, something like that, you can buy an optional mic with that radio, as I can put it on this radio as well, but it's not programmed like this one. It has a camera built in it, so you can actually take digital photos with it. Click, 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 and I can send them to this radio from my HT, or anybody's radio that has one of these. Now, I don't know if I can send it to somebody that hasn't got one of these radios, like, you know, via email or not. I don't think this radio or any radio is quite that advanced yet, but who knows at this point, it may. So anyway, if I have an HT or somebody wants to send me a picture, or me send myself a picture from my HT with the hand mic, because if I buy an HT, I always buy the hand mic. I will be able to send it to here, and it'll be stored on the SD card, so then I can retrieve it if I wanted to. All right, so the SD card is a good little thing to have along with the cable. All right, now this cable, let me see something here. Hello. Data cable. Okay, and this is also a data cable. Oh, so it has a data in the back as well. Whoa. All right. I like that. External speaker jack, which is most of the time a must. What do we have on the side of this? We have GPS. Okay. All right, anyway, that's where we're at. So the only thing that it doesn't have that I would prefer to see is on the head unit. It'd be nice if you were able to plug the microphone into the head unit as well, because the microphone now is plugged into the the actual transceiver part of the radio, which means this has to be somewhere within my reach. Well, if you just gave me 12 feet of cable so that I can put this someplace underneath my seat or in the trunk of the car, so this is the only thing that I actually need in front of me, well, how's that going to work if the mic is plugged into it? You follow me? The mic should have the option of being plugged into the head unit, and it does not. Now they do sell a Bluetooth system for this, but me and Bluetooth, I just don't get along with Bluetooth for some reason. I don't know. I'll get into that in a minute, because I've got 3 Bluetooths here I got to go through for something else. So I'm thinking they probably make an extension cable that will plug in to the radio that I can mount next to the head unit or anywhere I want to put the microphone. And naturally you want to put the mic where it's going to be easily accessible and where you're not pulling too much tension on the cord, because the more you pull on the cord, the more tension you put on it, the more chances of breaking and pulling and breaking the connector at this point. And for those of you who have been in CB, know that the mic connectors are always breaking. So that's it. So far I haven't turned the radio on and gone through it. I got to wait until my voltage comes up to where I feel it's comfortable. And this is where we're at. So I'm going to pick all this up, put it aside, and I'm going to talk to you guys about those Bluetooth things I have.